I mean, one thing that I'm kind of struck by is how comfortable you are talking about sex and sexuality and stuff like that. And is it just the way you were raised that allowed you to be like that? I feel like a lot of people would like to be able to be that comfortable.
Yeah, I definitely should mention we went into childhood stuff. I went into childhood stuff. But in my adult life, I've been in the sex industry for basically my entire adult life. I started off as a stripper, exotic dancer at 22, 21, 22, and
Mhm.
um, it's been over a decade now. And I was in Vegas a week ago just for fun for a night. It's not something that I need anymore.
Mhm.
Um, and yet I just really, really enjoy it. So being in that environment and then also doing some work as a dominatrix and a webcam model and all kinds of things in the sex industry, actually. Um, I'm just steeped in it, and I love it because it's the truth, and it's how we got here, and it's our source of power and our source of creativity, and just connecting with sexuality and sexual energy, and it's empowering, in my opinion.
Wow. See, I'm so interested in that. That's a very like positive view of something that I feel like if you ask the average person, like, oh, what would it be like to strip? There would be the sense of like, oh, it's these horny guys. They're going to be disrespect. Like, it's already like an interesting situation you're in, but it's super easy for them to be creepy or disrespectful. Is that not your experience?
Yeah, and the power that I have, that we have as sex workers, is to transform that by, just teaching people how to treat you
Hmm.
one person at a time. And there's a ripple effect. And then also holding yourself in integrity. And this is, strip clubs are just the microcosm. The same thing is happening everywhere else in the world.
Hmm.
It's just watered down. I mean, a guy walking by, my friend and I were joking about this the other day doing a photo shoot. We were out just hiking and a guy walked by and we were talking about the same exact thing that you just said.
Hmm.
And the photographer said, yeah, well, that guy might have been thinking the same thing as the guy that you walked by at the strip club and, is taking you back in the VIP. Like, it's not any different. We're just not thinking about it in the same way when we're out in the world.
Hmm. Right. So in the strip club, people are going to be like more upfront about it, and like that's what they're there to engage in. So they're going to say everything that's on their mind. But if someone has like sexual feelings or feelings of wanting to dominate or whatever they have in their mind, that may be happening anyway. You're saying this is a place where the honesty is bared, and it's like in a sense there's a bearing on the side of the dancer and then a bearing on the side of the patron who's just like bringing to you things that maybe he wouldn't say anywhere but there.
Yeah, exactly. And why is it okay to be fully expressed and say all of those things and allow our shadow selves to be seen because we're in the dark and, numbed by alcohol? And I really love this idea of just turning the strip club inside out, because there's no reason why all of that needs to be repressed and shoved into a dark corner at 2 a.m. It doesn't make
Mhm.
any sense to me.
Ah,
Like, turn the lights on and take it outside because it's real. It's happening. It's not something that's just in the dark at night. It's happening all day. We just feel okay in that space. And that's because there's been so much repression and shame and fear around sexuality, which is silly to me. It's how we
hmm.
got here.
Right. Huh. I've never heard of turn a strip club inside out, but it actually makes a ton of sense and it's really interesting. I've never thought of that before. But you're right. I mean, there's something about how
Do it.
good. It's so secretive what's happening in there to people. It's so personal. I mean, it's like we kind of, well, at a certain age, like nobody would be surprised by the types of things that are being said and the fantasies that are being played out. But but we really are just like, that's their personal stuff. And it's like one of the last things we talk about openly. When I say we, I just mean anyone that I would meet in most contexts. Like, when do you even get there? How many decades into a relationship do you need to get with the average person that I know, at least, before you would talk about like your sexual fantasies or the things that are perverse about what you want or fantasize about?